Hi, it's me, Jonathan, again, the crazy pacifist. Now, I wanted to give some clarification to what I mean by me as a radical pacifist supporting the U.S. troops, because I still do not yield to the whole worldview of participating in a nation state. Because I'm an internationalist, and me as an American, I do not see myself as any different than a Kenyan or Egyptian or an Indian or Australian or whoever. Like, they are equally a human being as much as I am a human being. So if Americans can oppose the war, if an American can oppose the wars but support the U.S. troops at the same time, then likewise Afghanis can oppose the war but support the Taliban at the same time. I mean, let's be fair. So I support the U.S. troops, and because every single Marine and person in the Army and Navy, they are all human beings, and I do respect your values, I respect your worldview as a serviceman, a servicewoman in the military. So I will not oppose you because I just value you as a human being, so I support you. But I also, likewise, equally support the terrorists. Because one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. And a terrorist is a human being just as much as you are a human being. So, like, do not allow the U.S. media to brainwash you to thinking that a person that's a non-American is subhuman. Like an Afghani, whoever they are, an Iraqi, Arabs, Iranians, and all the enemies of America, they are as much as a human being as you are, and they are just a human being, so don't be brainwashed. Like, you who are serving in the U.S. military, you have more in common with the Taliban, you have more in common with people in al-Qaeda, you have more in common with an Iranian, an Egyptian, a Saudi, or whoever, more in common with them than you have in common with the Pentagon. Because the Pentagon, they are doing the work of the very wealthy elites of America. You have more in common, you as an American serviceman have more in common with al-Qaeda and the Taliban than the wealthy American elites they are the reason why we have this war. Because basically the U.S. military, you're not fighting for freedom. You're not fighting to defend the U.S. Constitution. You're fighting for the wealth of U.S. elites. That's why we went to war against Afghanistan, because there's $3 trillion worth of minerals that need to be mined in Afghanistan. So that's why we went to war in Afghanistan, for one thing. So Afghanis, the Taliban, all they're doing is defending their families, defending their homes. So it's the same as you are doing in the U.S. military. That's why I support you, because you are defending, you in the U.S. military, you are defending your family, you're defending your country and your home, just like the Taliban is doing. And that's why I support the Taliban, I support al-Qaeda as equally as I support the U.S. soldiers. So both sides, to be fair, have committed human rights abuses and have committed atrocities. Like, there is no good guys in this whole war on terror, because American soldiers have raped many young girls. There's not just a few bad apples. Basically, it's a whole culture within the military of raping young girls, both during peacetime and during wartime, and torturing innocent civilians and killing innocent civilians. It's like very ingrained within the structure of the U.S. military. It's not a few bad apples. It's ingrained in the U.S. military to rape both young boys and young girls and torturing innocent civilians, not terrorists, innocent civilians, and killing innocent civilians. It's part of the culture of war in general, which is why I oppose all militaries, not just American military. I oppose the military in general. I oppose the establishment of the military. I do not oppose the U.S. troops. I do not oppose you serving the military. So, like, I support U.S. troops because I think it's fabulous that you're defending your country, though I think it's completely misguided. Because, like I said, you are not defending freedom. You are not defending the U.S. Constitution. Basically, you're defending the wealth of the top 0.1% of Americans. You're defending their wealth. Because since the beginning of the War on Terror, the top 0.1% of Americans, they have had a net gain of 10% of the nation's wealth to 20% of the nation's wealth. They have gotten extremely, fabulously wealthy from the War on Terror. So, I was gonna say, and I think it's I respect your wanting to defend your family. That's why you are fighting the war. You want to defend your family, even though I think that is misguided. Because, to be fair, you're not defending your family. The fact that you are serving in the military means you are making the world a lot more dangerous place for your family. The world is a lot more dangerous for your family just because you are serving in the military. Even though I do support you and I do love you as a human being. So again, what I like to say is that I do support the U.S. troops as a radical pacifist, but likewise, as a radical pacifist, I also support the terrorists, even though I hate war and I hate terrorism, of course. Because a terrorist is no different than a Marine, to be fair. But I do love you as a Marine, and I do love you serving the U.S. military. I love you very much. Have a good night.